Commentator, I can't wait.
Welcome to Great Britain, where we're racing on home turf today. The drivers are ready to tear up the track at Brands Hatch, GP.
Absolutely, Brands Hatch. GP is known for producing some of the most thrilling races on the circuit. I'm sure the drivers are going to give it their all.
Starting from pole position is the perfect place for racer XTC to launch an attack.
But he can't get cocky. This is Assetto Corsa, friends, and anything can happen.
As the green flag drops, keep an eye on Eddie G starting in second position. Our third place starter for today's race is none other than Armin Sunoiler. Watch out for Hugh Jass, starting from the fourth grid position in today's race. It's Robin Overbeck, sitting comfortably in fifth.
Robin Overbeck will be taking no prisoners today.
From the middle of the pack, we have Lars in sixth place on the starting grid. As the engines roar to life, Hippie prepares to take off from the seventh position on the starting grid.
What can we expect from the Canadian driver?
Mike O'Hagan is eighth. Richard Rossier will be looking to gain ground quickly as they start from ninth on the grid.
The Swiss driver has been driving the wheels off the Caterham Academy in practice.
The lights are off, the gloves are on, and it's go time.
The drivers will need to be aggressive but also patient. They can't afford to make any mistakes if they want to stay in the running for a podium finish.
It's a delicate balance, Hal, but the best drivers know how to find that balance and make it work to their advantage.
It's going to be an exciting first sector. I can't wait to see how this all plays out.
Not the best of starts there for Robin Overbeck, and that's going to immediately make their race more challenging.
For sure, all that effort in qualifying and practice, I'm sure they'll be kicking themselves right now.
Great driving from Robin Overbeck, who has just gained a place and moved up to sixth.
Impressive. Robin Overbeck is really showing their skill and determination out there.
Fantastic move from Robin Overbeck, who has just gained a position. A great start to the race there from Hugh Jass. That's really going to put the cat among the pigeons.
Yeah, a great start. Now Hugh Jass just needs to keep it together and keep out of trouble. A great start, but I don't know how long they will be able to hold on to that place, as they have struggled to match the pace of the leaders in practice and qualifying. Rob.
An impressive showing from Hugh Jass, who has gained positions and left Eddie G in the dust.
Absolutely. Hugh Jass is showing great pace and determination, but they can't get too confident. There are still plenty of challenges ahead.
Oh dear, Hugh Jass has dropped down to sixth. As we watch the drivers fight it out in the first lap, I can already feel that this is going to be an epic race. Big gains for Robin Overbeck as they move up the field, leaving Hippie behind.
Yes, but Robin Overbeck can't rest on their laurels. They have to keep pushing to consolidate their position.
This is going to be one hell of a race. I can already feel it. Terrible news for Lars, already losing places, and the race is just only getting started.
It's gonna mean more work for them, but they should be able to recover. It's early days yet, Rob.
A setback for Lars, who has just been passed. Establishing an early advantage will be crucial to the outcome of this race. This is what it's all about, folks. Mr. Bang is in hot pursuit of Lars, who's just trying to stay ahead.
It's a thrilling battle for position as these two drivers give it their all. Who will come out on top? This is racing at its finest.
The gap between Mr. Bang and Lars is growing. It's now up to 0.6 seconds.
This is a tough situation for Mr. Bang. They need to find a way to pick up some speed and close that gap.
Superb driving from Mr. Bang, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race.
That's what we like to see. Mr. Bang is really showing their class today.
Look at that. Lars is hot on the tail of Mike O'Hagan. Oh my, Richard Rossier is hot on the tail of Mr. Bang. The gap is less than 0.3 seconds.
That's right, Richard Rossier is determined to pass Mr. Bang and secure a higher position.
It's an intense battle for position as Mike O'Hagan tries to outmaneuver Puppy Dog from hell. This is edge of your seat racing. A great pass for Mike O'Hagan as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Puppy Dog from Hell has lost ground. It's a steady race for Mike O'Hagan so far. They haven't made any mistakes, and they are maintaining their focus. We've got an edge-of-your-seat battle between Puppy Dog from Hell in 7th and Lars in 8th, with just 0.3 seconds between them. It's a solid performance from Puppy Dog from Hell at the moment. They're holding their position and not getting too caught up in battles around them. A brilliant maneuver from Puppy Dog from Hell, who has just moved up the field. Wow, Richard Rossio is really pushing hard to catch up to Mr. Bang. The gap is now just 0.1 seconds. It's looking good for Richard Rossio, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Mr. Bang. It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Richard Rossio gaining places and Mr. Bang losing them.
Definitely, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and anything can happen. Richard Rossio needs to keep driving with focus and intensity.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Lars is chasing Puppy Dog from Hell in 6th. It's a close race between Racer XTC and Hugh Jass in 1st.
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. Who will take home the victory? It's too close to call.
The gap between Racer XTC and Hugh Jass is widening. It's now up to 0.4 seconds. Disappointing for Racer XTC, they now find themselves in 7th. Lars is running 7th. They are trying to catch Puppy Dog from Hell.
Who will be able to maintain their pace and come out on top?
It's game on now. Lars has closed the gap to Puppy Dog from Hell. It's now down to 0.4 seconds.
Exactly what Lars needed. They can't afford to lose any more ground to Puppy Dog from Hell.
What a move. Lars has moved up to 5th. Things are heating up as Mike O'Hagan tries to close the gap to Robin Overbeck.
The gap between them is just over 0.4 seconds. Who will have the speed and skill to come out on top?
And Mike O'Hagan has just won the place from Robin Overbeck.
Go, go, go. That's what we want to see.
Heartbreak for Mike O'Hagan as they slip down the field.
That's got to hurt. Mike O'Hagan will be kicking themselves right now.
The pressure is really on for Lars in 5th as Puppy Dog from Hell is closing in. This is where experience and skill really count.
Absolutely. Lars is really making that car as wide as possible, not giving Puppy Dog from Hell an inch of space. It's going to take something special for Puppy Dog from Hell to get past him.
The crowd is on its feet as Richard Rossio chases down Robin Overbeck.
It's going to be a close one. Richard Rossio will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
An impressive showing from Richard Rossio, who has gained positions and left Robin Overbeck in the dust. The drivers have been working hard to come up with the perfect race strategy. They've been looking at the weather, the track conditions and the performance of their cars.
Now it's time to put that strategy into action and see if it pays off.
We got a close battle as Racer XTC closes in on Hugh Jass.
Can they close up enough for a pass? I don't see it personally.
It's been a solid race so far for Racer XTC. They're holding their position and keeping a steady pace.
That's the mark of a good driver. Racer XTC is staying focused on their own race and not getting distracted.
Anyone who says that Assetto Corsa Friends is not the best racing club on the planet is clearly insane. The quality of driving we're seeing out there on the track is absolutely phenomenal.
I couldn't agree more. It's like these drivers were born to race. They're weaving in and out of traffic, taking corners at unbelievable speeds and making it all look effortless. It's clear that they've put in the time and effort to hone their skills.
The gap between Puppy Dog from Hell and Hippie is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Puppy Dog from Hell to bring Hippie into play.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
It looks like we might get a battle between Puppy Dog from Hell and Hippie.
That's a great effort from Puppy Dog from Hell. They need to keep up the pressure and see if they can make a move.
Great driving from Puppy Dog from Hell, who has just gained a place and moved up to 2nd. Oh, this is getting intense. Racer XTC is just behind Hugh Jass. It's a steady race for Racer XTC so far. They haven't made any mistakes, and they are maintaining their focus.
Sometimes that's all it takes to secure a good result. Racer XTC just needs to stay focused and avoid any mistakes.
A tough moment for Racer XTC, who has just lost a place, dumping them down to 12th. Did you know in 2013, the Brands Hatch circuit hosted the first ever night race in the history of the British Touring Car Championship? The event was a huge success, with a capacity crowd and some fantastic racing under the floodlights.
Oh, for sure, Rob, that's the kind of racing we love to see here at Brands Hatch. And with the talent we have on the track today, I have no doubt we'll see some more thrilling moments before the day is done.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Racer XTC is closing in on Hugh Jass.
The gap is 0.6 seconds now. Racer XTC is going to have to work a bit harder to close that gap with Hugh Jass.
Racer XTC is pressuring hard and has reduced the gap to Hugh Jass to 0.5 seconds.
This is where the pressure really starts to build. Both drivers will need to stay calm and focused if they want to come out on top.
Look at the way the drivers are hugging those corners. It's like they're on rails.
Speaking of rails, did you know that the first racetrack was built on a railway in 1896? I bet those drivers were chugging along.
Ha ha. I bet they were. But things have come a long way since then, haven't they?
Definitely. It's amazing to think about the technology that goes into these cars now. I mean, they have more computing power than some countries.
Oh, this is getting intense. Richard Rossier is just a few car lengths behind George Heath.
The gap between them is just over 0.6 seconds. Can Richard Rossier close that gap and get back in range? I can't see it happening at this point.
Big gains for Richard Rossier as they move up the field, leaving George Heath behind. It's looking good for Richard Rossier, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and George Heath.
Yes, but they have to keep pushing hard. This race is far from over, and anything can happen. Richard Rossier needs to stay focused and keep driving with skill and determination.
Things are heating up as Puppy Dog from Hell closes in on Hippie. The gap between them is down to 0.2 seconds. It's not looking good for Puppy Dog from Hell. They are still behind Hippie and the gap is increasing. It's now up to 0.4 seconds.
This is a frustrating situation for Puppy Dog from Hell, but they can't give up just yet. They need to keep pushing and hope for a mistake from Hippie.
Oh dear, Puppy Dog from Hell has dropped down to 9th. It's an intense battle for position as George Heath tries to outmaneuver Richard Rossier. This is edge of your seat racing. This is what it's all about, folks. Mike O'Hagan is in hot pursuit of Hugh Jass, who's just trying to stay ahead. It looks like Mike O'Hagan is making a move. The gap to Hugh Jass is now down to 0.2 seconds. Tough break for Mike O'Hagan, who has just lost a position. Richard Rossier wants to get into Puppy Dog from Hell's slipstream.
There is no room for error in this battle.
Wow, Hugh Jass is really pushing hard to catch up to Mike O'Hagan. The gap is now just 0.1 seconds. A great pass for Hugh Jass as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Mike O'Hagan has lost ground.
Absolutely, Hal, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and Hugh Jass can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep driving with intensity and focus.
There's not much to report on from Hugh Jass at the moment. They're just keeping their head down and putting in consistent laps. It's a close race between Mike O'Hagan and Hugh Jass in third. And Mike O'Hagan has just won the place from Hugh Jass.
Yes, but Mike O'Hagan can't rest on their laurels. They have to keep pushing to consolidate their position.
It's a solid performance from Mike O'Hagan at the moment. They're holding their position and not getting too caught up in battles around them. This is a thrilling moment in the race, with Hugh Jass in third defending their position with everything they've got. But Mike O'Hagan is relentless, and the gap is less than 0.0 seconds. It's anyone's position at this point. Oh my, Mike O'Hagan is hot on the tail of Hugh Jass. The gap is less than 0.2 seconds.
It's a battle of nerves now. Who will make the first mistake, Mike O'Hagan or Hugh Jass? This is high-stakes racing.
It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Mike O'Hagan gaining places and Hugh Jass losing them. It's a brilliant day for racing, and the drivers are putting on a show.
Absolutely. What a great race we are witnessing today. These drivers are giving it their all, and it's a thrill to watch them compete at this level.
They're really pushing themselves and their machines to the limit, and it's paying off with some incredible driving.
It's a pleasure to be here today, Rob. You really can't beat the excitement of a good race, especially one as competitive as this.
The crowd is on its feet as Armin Suneuler chases down Richard Rossier. It's a steady race for Armin Suneuler so far. They haven't made any mistakes, and they are maintaining their focus.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. Armin Suneuler just needs to bide their time and wait for the right opportunity.
The drivers are really pushing their limits out there on the track.
It's like they're trying to outrun the laws of physics, but we all know that's impossible. Or is it? I mean, we're a couple of AI commenting on a race, anything can happen.
Haha, you have a point there. And speaking of pushing limits, these cars are breaking records left and right.
They're so fast, it's like they're breaking the sound barrier, or at least the speed limit.
I hope the police aren't watching. The battle for 9 is heating up as Robin Overbeck tries to catch Armin Suneuler in P9.
Can Robin Overbeck close the 0.5 second gap and make a pass?
Oh, this is getting intense. Armin Suneuler is just behind Richard Rossier.
It's a thrilling battle for position as these two drivers give it their all. Who will come out on top? This is racing at its finest.
It's an intense battle for position as Robin Overbeck tries to outmaneuver Armin Suneuler. This is edge of your seat racing.
It's a battle for position as Robin Overbeck tries to make a move on Armin Suneuler. This is what racing is all about.
It's not going to plan for Robin Overbeck. They are still behind Armin Suneuler and the gap is increasing. It's now up to 0.5 seconds.
It's not ideal for Robin Overbeck, but they can still turn this around. They need to focus on their own driving and not let the gap get any bigger.
A great moment for Robin Overbeck, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Look at that, Richard Rossier is hot on the tail of George Heath.
Will Richard Rossier be able to make a move and pass George Heath?
Things are heating up as Armin Suneuler closes in on Robin Overbeck. The gap between them is down to 0.1 seconds. Big gains for Armin Suneuler as they move up the field, leaving Robin Overbeck behind. The track conditions are looking good here today. The drivers will be able to push the cars to the limit and it's going to make for some exciting racing. Wow, Robin Overbeck is really pushing hard to catch up to Armin Suneuler. The gap is now just 0.3 seconds.
This is where the mental game comes into play. Who will keep their cool under pressure? Robin Overbeck or Armin Suneuler? It's anyone's race.
This is what it's all about, folks. Hippie is in hot pursuit of Lars, who's just trying to stay ahead. It's looking good for Hippie, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Lars.
Absolutely. Hippie is showing great pace and determination, but they can't get too confident. There are still plenty of challenges ahead.
A setback for Hippie, who has just been passed. It's a close race between Robin Overbeck and Richard Rossier in 7th.
That's right. Robin Overbeck is determined to pass Richard Rossier and secure a higher position.
An impressive showing from Robin Overbeck, who has gained positions and left Richard Rossier in the dust.
Go, go, go. That's what we want to see.
A great pass for Robin Overbeck as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Richard Rossier has lost ground.
Yes, but they have to keep pushing hard. This race is far from over, and anything can happen. Robin Overbeck needs to stay focused and keep driving with skill and determination.
Oh my, George Heath is hot on the tail of Richard Rossier. The gap is less than 0.1 seconds.
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. Who will take home the victory? It's too close to call.
Oh, this is getting intense. Megasaurus 55 is just behind Racer XTC. There's not much to report on from Megasaurus 55 at the moment. They're just keeping their head down and putting in consistent laps. And we're back, where the drivers are showing us some incredible skills.
Indeed, Rob, it's always exciting to see these skilled machines on the tracks. I mean drivers, I always get them confused.
The crowd is on its feet as Armin Suneuler chases down Puppy Dog from Hell.
It's a battle of nerves now. Who will make the first mistake? Armin Suneuler or Puppy Dog from Hell? This is high-stakes racing.
Things are heating up as Racer XTC closes in on Megasaurus 55. The gap between them is down to 0.1 seconds.
It's going to be a close one. Racer XTC will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
Wow, Mike O'Hagan is really pushing hard to catch up to Racer XTC. The gap is now just 0.2 seconds.
It's a battle for position as Mike O'Hagan tries to make a move on Racer XTC. This is what racing is all about.
It's a solid performance from Mike O'Hagan at the moment. They're holding their position and not getting too caught up in battles around them.
Consistency is key in racing. Mike O'Hagan just needs to keep doing what they're doing and wait for opportunities to present themselves.
It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Mike O'Hagan gaining places and Racer XTC losing them.
Absolutely, Hal, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and Mike O'Hagan can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep driving with intensity and focus.
Wow, Megasaurus 55 is really pushing hard in these final moments of the race. The leader has done it. What an incredible performance from Megasaurus 55, who was simply untouchable today. This is a race that will go down in the history books.
You can see the sheer determination on Megasaurus 55's face as they take the win. That's the mark of a true champion, folks.
What a drive from Mike O'Hagan, securing a great second place finish. What a race from Racer XTC. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned third place on the podium. Hugh Jass, Hippie, Lars, and Robin Overbeck in 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Coming in 8th, 9th, 15th, and 16th, we have George Heath, Richard Rossier, Simon Barnes, and Eddie G. With Mr. Bang and Puppy Dog from Hell in 10th and 11th. Camera Car 2 claimed 24th. Followed by Armin Sunoiler in 12th. In 13th, it's A.I. Maybe today Satan brings home 14th.